I want to give a special hello to Coachella.
Kamala Harris and the radical Democrats have destroyed this state, California's.
Can Trump sway voters in states that have historically rejected him? The 2024 election may hinge on unconventional tactics, and Trump's latest moves prove he's ready to disrupt the norm. From Coachella to Madison Square Garden, his rallies are not just events. They represent a statement of defiance against the blue state stronghold.
The radical left Democrats have destroyed this state, but we are going to save it, and we're going to make it better than ever before.
Is he igniting a spark of hope among his base? Or is this a political gamble that could backfire? Don't miss out on our analysis of how Trump's approach could redefine the battle for the presidency. The stakes have never been higher.
And his rallies continue to feature dehumanizing language.
He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him.
When the competition for the 2024 election starts, you will find out why Donald Trump is campaigning in states like California and New York, which have firmly committed to the Democratic Party. Is he planning to have victories besides swing states? Rather than visiting states crucial for the electoral map, he's headed into regions where Republicans don't compete, such as in Coachella Valley, California, or Madison Square Garden, New York. The subsequent question you may ask yourself is, why? However, as this would suggest, there is more to this distinction than initially meets the eye.
Former President Donald Trump repeating that other Americans are the enemy.
Although he got 0% of the vote in California in the 2020 election, Trump still thinks he can triumph. Recently, he said, "Are they going to have a fair election in California? I also have a solid call to sweep that state." He has also threatened to reject any mail votes, going to the extent of calling this voting fraudulent. But what is going through this man's mind?
We have some sick people, radical left lunatics.
His team argues these are planned events, intending to reach out to millions of Republicans and possible contributors in these hostile Dem states. August rallies are not only for Trump to build up his persona, they also enable them to bash Democratic leaders.
Hillary Clinton was the single worst Secretary of State in the history of this country.
He also recently said that if Kamala Harris becomes president, our entire country will be turned into Detroit. Although these comments do not influence any voting in blue states, they try to focus on issues they have if led by the Democrats. Even his communications director said that such events prove Harris's lack of success, and our media coverage of these rallies is another factor to add. Trump's senior advisors say he is correct. The location is less crucial now since the media has been nationalized and messages can also be sent to the big cities. And let's face it, holding a rally at Madison Square Garden will cause a stir. Also, Trump is likely reaching out to low-propensity voters by partnering with YouTuber personalities and podcast hosts, just as Democrats have used social media channels.
And the country's not doing well. But when you look at, we have a big election coming up. Look,
Are these rather unexpected stops in deep blue states in this country over the territory of navy blue color, which may be incredibly helpful to Trump as the 2024 elections approach? Only time will tell. However, one thing is clear. His rallies are not ordinary campaign gatherings, but symbolize a changing culture of power in America today. Will this strategy work for Trump? Although Illinois and New York may not be crucial for his electoral victory, he seems intent on rallying his base in states where they rarely see him live.
I just don't know what to tell you. I was surprised by it, actually.
As he pushes forward, it's clear he's not sticking to traditional campaign methods. Keep watching with us to see how this unfolds. Donald Trump is not alone among the two parties' candidates to focus only on the swing states as the 2024 election gets closer. He is flying to Illinois on Tuesday to attend the Bloomberg News Economic Club of Chicago event. It's another stop in the blue state, and Trump doesn't seem to be lacking in efforts to make his influence felt strongly in such Democrat areas. But that's not all. He's also planning a return to New York, which hasn't been friendly to him in past elections.
Donald Trump's return to New York City, full of made-for-TV moments, all for the president that TV made.
Trump has recently conducted his gallery in the Bronx and Long Island as part of campaigning non-white male voter demography, which demographically has always been a Democrat stronghold. during the campaign rally in Long Island in September, he also said that he could win the state, although he lost it by 20% and 22% respectively in 2016 and 2020. More to the point, that particular rally was supposed to be held on the day of his sentencing in the hush money case in Manhattan, for which the judge delayed the date so that it would fall after the election. What might the headlines have been had these been published all those years ago? Now, Trump plans to make a grand entrance in New York's Madison Square Garden for a rally on the 27th of October, 4 days before the election. It was a legendary New York club that would afford him a massive stage in front of the folks back home. But some debate was about needing to say something about it and formally pull the trigger. Company insiders who spoke to the complimentary newspapers said they worried that outside pressures most New Yorkers who may want to lean on the venue to get the event stopped will be applied. He has been getting that much pushback. Well, why New York and Illinois then? As much as they are not likely to be determinant in deciding the 2024 election, Trump appears keen on availing himself to ensure his base gets to see him. As one of his associates said, these occasions can draw even more people in areas where the inhabitants rarely have an opportunity to attend a rally. It motivates Tremotivateo to get porters even in states where they might be outvoted. Will these gambles in deep blue states work for Trump? As time will show, he is not out there to win the traditional way. He seems not to follow conventional campaign processes.
Former President Trump has been going after. It's a curious one. It is people who live in blue states. Yeah.
As Trump continues focusing on blue states, one must wonder, is this approach wise or is it futile? While he may believe that rallying his base is essential, observers, including Bennett, view this tactic as a gamble that may yield different results than he hopes for. Trump looks pretty comfortable in the blue states where he is currently campaigning. Only last Friday, he said he was very close to feeling it in Colorado, a Democratic state in Aurora. But how much substance is there to back that up? Not really. The primary purpose of Trump's visiting Democratic states is to focus on matters that he knows will irk the voters, such as crime and security along the border. While in the state, he did not spare words to describe Colorado's Democratic governor, Jared Polis. Trump went ahead and made some outrageous statements that Venezuelan gang members had taken over the state. He does not look at this guy as you look at him. He complains he does not see people storming buildings with AK-47s, military-style weapons even better than the American military, he said in showing the darker side of Colorado. In what might be an audacious stunt, Trump said that if he is voted in November, he will sign legislation to initiate a federal program that will fast-track the deportation of illegals with a nexus to a gang. He even promised to execute any migrant that kills an American citizen or police officer in what could be construed as a teaming promise. These strong statements are part of his strategy to support his argument, but have come with a lot of criticism. Democratic Senator from Colorado, Michael Bennet, also replied to Trump's words in the interview with CNN Jake Tapper. He confidently said that Trump was a liar when it came to migrant crime in the state and the slightest hint of amusement. There is no way he is going to win the state of Colorado, Bennet said. I see Trump's visit as politically as a complete waste of his time. But is it wise for Trump to focus on blue states, or is he wasting his effort? Although he may feel that it would rally his base, most observers, including Bennett, view it as a risky move that might not even work. As always, whether this confidence by Trump shall translate into real action, or it is more political theater in states where Trump can't hope to make any gains. Trump's bold strategy of campaigning in traditionally Democratic strongholds like California and New York raises intriguing questions about his approach as the 2024 election draws near. Is he effectively energizing his base, or is he risking alienation in regions where he has historically struggled? As he continues to hold rallies in these deep blue states, we must ask, will this unconventional method yield unexpected results, or is it simply a gamble that could backfire? What do you think about Trump's strategy? Is it an intense move or a risky misstep? Let us know in the comments. And remember to like and subscribe for more insights and analysis on the unfolding political landscape.